to snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Foles, touchdown.
Here he goes. It's Hester. Inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown.
Fields stumbling, trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown!
Hurts on first down, fires downfield. It's Deshaun Jackson back in the lineup. This the last 7 games, and he will take it 81 yards. A somersault into the end zone. His first touchdown of the season.
You're listening to the Pigskin Project, the world's #1 football podcast. Now, with more insights on all things football, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen and Ryan Matthews. Welcome back to the 75th episode of the Pigskin Project, where we're in person this week, so that's pretty cool. We've got lots of stuff to talk about, and, we talked about how we needed some news this week, and we definitely got it.
Yes.
But, hey, we're in person again. I feel like we're doing more and more. It's pretty nice.
It is nice.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good.
Now that we actually get a chance to sit down and talk after prepping for the podcast for the last few minutes.
It's wild. No, I'm doing good. I'm back for the next few days, and then I make the move. But it's
Congratulations.
a stressful few weeks for sure.
Oh,
But it's good to sit down and actually hang out and talk some football. Nice little break to all the madness. That is for sure.
yeah, no, absolutely. It's always nice to be able to sit down and talk some football. And first off, let me just say, okay, last week when we were talking, I was 3 episodes deep in quarterback.
Oh, you finished it?
And I finished it like 2 days after. So I think A+ show all the way around. Honestly, definitely watch again.
Yes.
And then probably one more time before the second season comes out.
Yes.
Which is one of our headlines today as I continue to drop this thing. So we're just going to dive into weekly news. The popular Netflix series Quarterback will be renewed for a second season per Peyton Manning, and he was like a lead director.
Yeah, he was the executive producer, I think was like his official title on the show.
Okay. So yeah, he obviously a big part in that. So Netflix has renewed them, and it's only been like 1 week since it's been put out.
I know that's how good it was.
That's the major, kind of support that everybody's given it so far. But I loved it. And not only that, but I'm seeing more and more, like, okay, now keep in mind, I think it was the next day that we were recording the podcast.
Yes.
And we already were talking about like who's going to be on season 2. And so for that, as awesome as that is, I'm seeing more and more of that on TikTok. And it's like, we did that first. So screw all of you.
Yeah, come listen to Pigskin Podcast.
But anyways, yeah, so go and watch it if you haven't already. It's definitely worth it.
I will say that the last episode
Mm-hmm.
was very difficult for me to watch, especially when they're talking about dreams and nightmares and how like that's Philadelphia's song, and
It's everybody's song, dude. It gets everybody hyped up.
it's Philly's song. They were the one who made it popular. That was a song that I listened to in 2017, like when they won the Super Bowl.
Oh, really? That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
I didn't know that
They
it was
put on
that
the
old.
dog masks and they were dancing
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Philly's song.
Wow,
But-
2017.
Yeah.
That's six years ago. They were doing the dog masks.
Yeah,
That's a long time ago.
I know.
Wow.
I know. But it was a good show. Go and watch it if you haven't. Like Ryan said, like it's good. But other news.
Yeah. So, I read a report today or not today, but I think it was today that Bill Belichick is rumored to be on the hot seat. Now, this is also something that we've talked about in the past. It's to the point to where it's like not even the Hall of Famers are, immune to this, anymore. It's definitely something that we've kind of looked for this report for a little bit, just because last year was a disappointment. The year before that, they got blown up. I'm putting this down. Last year they got blown out by the the year before they got blown out by the Bills in the playoffs, and now it's like, are they even going to come close to making the playoffs? And the AFC is just that big of a monster that it's like, what are we doing here?
Well, yeah, and to the point, and we've already discussed numerous times on the podcast, we really don't think the Patriots are going to be good this year. I think it's going to be a Don Shula situation for the listeners who were alive during the whole Don Shula stuff. Don Shula, if you guys don't know, is famous Dolphins head coach, like widely regarded as like one of the best head coaches to ever do it. But when the Dolphins started going bad, he left the Dolphins before it got like really, really bad. Like he left the Dolphins when they went like, I don't know, they won like 7 games or something. And I think that's probably what we'll see. I don't think Belichick is going to wait until the team wins 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be one of those things he's just going to ride off in the sunset before it gets ugly. And so people won't hate him and whatnot. And I think that's probably the best route. He's been in football. He's cemented his legacy. He is arguably the greatest coach to ever do it. I think he's gonna walk off in the sunset. Everyone's gonna remember him, and it's gonna be good. But I'm ready for his reign and Tom's reign to be over in the NFL, and for someone else to step up and finally become that person.
Oh yeah, nice. I think majority of the NFL community is ready for that step. So speaking of, Bill Belichick and his just overall history, right? He's been with the Browns before, and the Browns have some news. We fall on different sides of the category here for sure. Yeah. So, if you guys live under a rock, so basically, they released new helmets today, and I think they're different, but that's it. But they're really cool to me, and that's probably why. It's just because they're that different.
Personally, yeah, we'll see. It's all pulled up in here. We got the new white helmet with a nice brown stripe. I think it's fine, but I think it's getting overdone. I think people saw the Bengals do it with the winter Bengal or whatever it was called, or like, I think it was overdone, and I think that was good. But now everyone's hopping on this white train. Wow. That sounded really bad out of context. But everyone is hopping on like this new like white uniform train. And I just think it's getting overdone now. And I think it's getting it's saturating the market, the uniform market. But nothing's going to be as bad as those Arizona Cardinals uniforms.
I will say this. I'm a huge fan of it just because, I know that it throws off tradition altogether. Yeah. But there comes to a point in football, especially the NFL, that tradition needs to be broken. And,
there's not much you can do with those Browns uniforms, honestly.
Dude, you're the Browns. and anything that can make you look at least a little bit better, if you could pull off brown in any shape or form, and that, this is, okay, out of 10, what would you give it?
A 6.
A 6? Okay, if that's like the average okay thing, right? Yeah. For me, I'd put it at about an 8. Okay. So average that out for us. That's a 7. And it's like, that's good enough.
I'm better than what the normal uniforms are.
Come on. But anyways, yeah. So, and then next up, Giants linebacker Jared Davis suffered a season-ending knee injury during OTAs that landed him on an injured reserve today and ended his 2023 season. Obviously, that's not something that you're looking for if you're a Giants fan or just a football fan in general. OTAs is supposed to be something that you just kind of walk through, maybe get a little bit of conditioning in, maybe get in the gym just a little bit, get back into the building before things really kick off. And, getting an injury soon is just ridiculous. So we hope for a speedy recovery from him. But speaking of speedy recoveries, Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford declined to restructure his contract, even though Los Angeles wanted to. It's going to be a little bit of an interesting situation in LA this year for the Rams. And, I think I also read a report saying that the Rams tried to move Matthew Stafford.
That's where I was going with that.
And it's just nobody wanted to take on that contract.
Yep.
So maybe that's why because he wants to stay in LA at that point. Maybe he's like, I'm not restructuring this contract, so you can't move it.
Yeah, that's probably what happened, but I don't know. I want to know what the Rams' plan is because you spent all this assets to move to get him, and for you to get off of him in a matter of 2 years, are you going to start Stetson Bennett?
Yeah.
I mean, reports coming out of camp are they really like Stetson Bennett, and he's really impressing, McVay, but
is it
Stetson
really?
Bennett is not a starting quarterback in the NFL.
He's not Matthew Stafford.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
So in a few years, Rams organization is
downward slope.
Yeah, it's already on a downward slope now, but in a few years, it's going to be even worse.
At this point, I mean, I don't know. We're not even going to deep dive into the franchise so far, but because I will say, so we'll probably end up predicting, their season soon. I don't think we've done that. So we'll probably talk about them a little bit later. This one's way more interesting.
Yes.
Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley didn't sign their tag or an extension. So they're not necessarily obligated to play for their team, or at least not contractually.
Yeah.
Whereas Tony Pollard did sign his tag, and so he's contractually obligated to play on that tag now. Now, veteran running backs across the NFL have been talking in a group chat just to discuss, going forward, just way to improve that situation and trying to make money. So, I mean, it just sounds like something could be happening. I mean, people, the likes of Derrick Henry was like, just take the position out then.
Yeah.
If it's that big of a deal, just take the position out. Now, looking at it from a fan's perspective, looking at it from an educated football mind perspective, and maybe even a GM, big front office name, it's the career span. Lifespan of a career of an NFL running back is so short compared to literally any other position in the NFL.
Yes.
So looking at this, it's like, for the Bears, for example, you and I were talking about whether or not the Bears should extend David Montgomery before the signing happened with the Lions. And I actually believe this was like before the previous season. And we both kind of agreed that it's so much easier to just draft another running back and save the money.
Johnson in the 4th round.
Exactly. So, and there was a anonymous GM that talked about it and was like, oh, these guys want to not play. That's fine. We got another 3rd or 4th round pick this year. It'll be okay. I mean, it's disappointing because you have guys like Saquon Barkley that are so much fun to watch.
Exactly.
And, but who else was fun to watch? Todd Gurley. Where's he at right now? You know?
Yeah. And I know I firmly has been on the stance, unless you are Chris McCaffrey or Nick Chubb.
Derrick Henry's in that as well.
Derrick Henry.
He's teetering though.
Those top few guys. Well, and the issue with Derrick Henry is he's getting up there in age, and he's already been injury prone last week.
That's why I'm saying, yeah.
And unless you are like the top guys, I don't think you should pay them because, like I said, you can go out in the 4th round and do it. And it's a shame, and I feel bad saying it because these are people, and they need to make their money and as much money as possible. But from a business point of view, why pay someone $10 million a year when you can go out and draft
pay another rookie minimum?
Yeah, exactly. But the interesting thing I saw was over the course from 2015 to now. So what is that? 8 years, 7 years, whatever that is.
Yeah, 8 years. Yeah.
The NFL cap has gone up. And with the NFL cap going up, every single tag at every single position has gone up with the cap.
Okay.
The running back position has actually decreased its tag by like $0.3 million.
Oh, wow.
Which is wild that as the cap's going up, the tag is actually, running backs are losing money now.
Yeah.
Which is something we don't see. And for those who don't know how the tag works, by the way, I think it's the average of the top 10. I think it's top 10. It might be top 5. But it's the average of the top 5 or 10 highest paid contracts for the person at their position averaged out. And that's what the tag is for that year, for those wondering how the tag numbers figured out.
Yeah. So, I mean, looking at this, there's only one way that I could see it happening. And that's, with the NFLPA going forward and kind of renegotiating at least a little bit. But I don't see a drastic change. You have rookies that'll step in immediately.
Yep.
And not only, it doesn't help the cases of a guy like, Saquon Barkley, a guy like, Ezekiel Elliott or Leonard Fournette or all these guys, right, that are getting up there in age, no matter what their stats are, because Dalvin Cook still hasn't been signed, and so it doesn't help because you have guys coming out of the draft that are so versatile in their games and legitimate, and I want to say they're slept on game changers. Like, I'll tell you this much: that Zach Charbonnet guy in Seattle, he's going to be a lot of fun to watch with Kenny Walker, and so I'm just putting it out there for one, cough, cough. Any kind of fantasy owners out there doing some research, maybe look into him as a bench option. Kenneth Walker got injured last year. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of Zach Charbonnet in his rookie year. But what I will say is, it's really hard to make a case for yourself in the NFL if all of these younger guys are coming out and they're looking like absolute surefire beasts. Breece Hall coming out exploding, and then I'm not talking just about his knee, unfortunately, but I'm talking about his performance was unbelievable. And that's just before. I mean, the dude was he was going to hit 1,000 yards rushing. Absolutely. And so, and then you look at, I mean, it's going to be stupid. It's going to be ridiculous, and it's only going to get worse. Yeah. So we'll see how this pans out. Obviously, we'll keep you guys tuned. Mm-hmm. And then let's see, DeAndre Hopkins finally signed a deal.
About gosh darn time.
2-year deal worth up to $32 million in incentives with the Titans. I feel like this is wholly overpay. I'm sure you have a receiver you'd like to talk about in this situation. But
well, just I don't know why Hall of Fame wide receivers continue to sign their last few years of their career to the Titans. D-Hop, look what happened to Julio Jones. Look what happened to Randy Moss. Look what happened to Andre Johnson. You will go to Tennessee and you will get like 500 yards and you will shrivel up and you will no longer have a career. And as much as I love D-Hop, I don't know why the Titans is what he decided. And I know we had a conversation. This helps the Titans. They, to our prediction, they're going to get like an extra 2 wins or whatnot for each of us. But I'm just confused why he would have signed there, the Titans, and just not wanted to continue to chase the ring and go to the Bills or the Chiefs. That just makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, what I was looking at was, the Browns would be really cool to pair him up with Amari Cooper, who, was a pretty solid, wide receiver 1/1B, in Dallas. You look at that, that'd be really cool. You look at the Bills, same exact situation, but with Stephon Diggs, and you would bolster that wide receiver room. It'd be ridiculous. Or, there's the greatest quarterback in the NFL right now, possibly making a case for greatest quarteback ever in Patrick Mahomes. I mean, who needs exactly? So here's the thing. If you're really at that point in your career where you're trying to make the most money before it ends, why not? And now I understand that makes sense, but why not bet on yourself? Sign a 1-year deal with the Chiefs, reigning Super Bowl champions, needing a wide receiver 1 after Juju Smith-Schuster left.
Yes.
Go make a case for yourself. Come back to the wide receiver market and go sign with a team, I mean, who needs a wide receiver other than Kansas City off the top of your head?
I would still argue the Ravens need one, but
yeah,
they spent $18 million on Odell, which
doesn't make sense. But
kind of looks stupid now when you could have got D-Hop for cheaper. But
yeah, so I mean, it all just doesn't make very much sense. But honestly, I mean, at this point, we'll see how it pans out. But I mean, it's a mediocre team. This team looks like trash.
It's still, yes.
I mean, I'm excited to see Will Levis potentially throw to him if he beats out Malik Willis for the third string.
Which has been a big thing right now, too, is Will Levis might have,
Malik Willis was, on the verge of getting released.
And now he's looking better than the quarterback you spent a second round pick on.
Yeah. What? I mean, it's... Wow. Anyways.
Yeah, it's a crazy world.
Absolutely. So exciting news in the NFL world now. Rookies for the Falcons, Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, Chargers, Dolphins, Saints, and Giants reported to training camp today. And very exciting for the future. Fun fact, I put in my off time for August, and I will be going 2 consecutive weeks to training camp for the Bears, technically, because I'm going to the August 9th practice, and then I'm going to the joint practice with the Colts literally a week from that date. So
16th. Oh.
I get to see my favorite players. We'll see some, Anthony Richardson action later on.
I'm so excited to see Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson's going to be – I've said it before, the Colts are going to be my team this year.
Him and Fields, man, working out together. Like, Fields as a mentor. Now, I understand. Like, he's got plenty of stuff to learn, but to coach, I mean, okay, first off, let me just say this. Fields put him as number 5, or not, okay, he put him in the top 5 ever, no order, for rushing quarterbacks.
Fields put himself?
He put himself in a list of rushing quarterbacks, top 5 ever.
That's
Mike Vick.
That's stupid. Mike Vick.
Who's in it? Hold on.
I'll tell you right now, Mike Vick, Lamar, Randall Cunningham, for sure.
Randall Cunningham wasn't in the top 5.
Well, that's dumb then. Randall Cunningham literally revolutionized the running quarterback game. If you do not put him...
He said Mike Vick, Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson, himself, and Steve Young.
Okay, fine. Him putting Steve Young in front of Randall Cunningham is a blasphemous statement. Maybe
because it was very spur of the moment.
Yes.
So,
the top 4, without any doubt, in my opinion, is Mike Vick, Randall Cunningham, Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson. And then
does he maybe crack the top 5?
Maybe he cracks it. Maybe, but he's done it for 1 year.
Yeah.
If he does it again,
I'm just saying,
then yes.
He broke the record. So, I mean,
if he does it again, then fine. But I can't put him in the top 5 all-time list.
He's close, though.
Off of one season.
He's close, though.
Come on.
That's cool.
He has
I'm not saying it's like...
He has the ability. This is where I'll leave it. He has the ability to be top 5. But...
You know what's crazy?
Put him in top 5 after.
You know what's crazy? He needs to throw the ball. So none of this matters. So, it's cool. He advances it. That's awesome. Don't get me wrong. Very excited for that. Mm-hmm. And it's cool to say he's maybe in the top 5 list for something.
Yeah.
That's the first Bears quarterback to ever be in the top 5 list for something. So, hey.
There you go.
Give me some props, dude. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so Bengals running back Joe Mixon has agreed to a restructured contract that keeps him in Cincinnati. So there's something there. Quinnen Williams getting a well-deserved extension.
Payday.
4-year, $96 million with $66 million guaranteed.
And frankly, I'm not surprised that this happened. It seems like it was something that they wanted to get done.
Mm-hmm.
Now that the news came out that they were going to be on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
That is something that you want to get done because you don't want to have the drama of how much money your player's going to make and whatnot. It made sense that they wanted to get that done before the cameras were actually in the building.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised, and I'm happy for Quinnen. Dude's highest paid D tackle now in the history of the NFL, and he deserves it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Quinnen Williams, great dude, by the way.
Yep.
Bless me. I mean, come on.
Bless me.
Yeah.
If I sneeze, because my allergies have been awful for those who listen, I'm so sorry.
You got to say bless me in respect to the recently extended.
Gots.
Let's move on to our next segment.
You think you know football? Well, prove it. This is Pigskin Pick'em.
So we're going to start off with the Chiefs. We're doing our Pigskin Pick'em record predictions for the Chiefs and Raiders today. We did the rest of the AFC. What's that? The AFC West?
Yes.
We did the rest of the AFC West last week. So if you haven't watched that previously, you probably should. It's awesome.
Yes.
I think, honestly, looking back at that, and you might have said it, I think that Justin Herbert's going to be an MVP candidate.
I said Justin Herbert was going to take the leap. So
I think he's going to be an MVP candidate. I'm not going to say he takes the cake, but I'll say.
But he's going to be in the conversation for sure.
But
you got to think Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, though, has slowly digressed over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing is they brought in Quentin freaking Johnson, my guy. And I can't wait to see him. And it's going to be fun to see Q and Herbert.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say. Given I looked over the Chiefs' schedule, I almost had them. I originally had them going the same record as the Chargers, but I decided I didn't want to do that. So I found a game somewhere in here to change. And now I have them one game ahead. Now, if you listen to last week's podcast, you know what that record is.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get to it.
Yeah. So, guys, if you guys see me looking down at my phone like this, I will be making my predictions live with this, and it's way easier to type from a distance on my phone than it is on my computer. So we'll keep track of this. Chiefs starting off the season, Thursday Night Football against the Lions. Very excited.
Hot. This was, given I wanted it to be Niners, Eagles. That would have been really fun, but I understand why I didn't want to. But this is a very, very fun way to start the season. Like, better than what it has been the last few years. Last few years to start the season have been really, really bad. This was tough for me to pick because the Lions, I think, are still going to be a better team than the Jets are, but people don't want to hear that. But at the end of the day, I do have the Chiefs winning. It always takes the Lions a little bit of time. It takes them 2 or 3 games, the last few seasons, to really get going. So for that reason, I do have the Lions winning. And
I know you're looking at my predictions right now, and you're probably thinking, this guy's crazy, but it's okay.
I have it. Oh, my gosh. I hope it's not what I think it is.
So, anyways, so I have the Lions losing this game as well. So, Chiefs picking up the week 1 win. It's going to be tighter than what people think, though. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Lions bolstered that defense up, and nobody's talking about it. It's absurd. I understand Chicago is this crazy big market, but the amount of publicity that the Bears are getting over the Lions is absolutely ridiculous.
The Lions went into the offseason as like this media darling, and then out of nowhere, everyone started slobbering on the knob of the Jets, and you completely forgot about the Lions along the way.
Yeah.
The Lions are going to be a fun team to watch. That being said, I'm actually glad because I saw your schedule prediction for week 2 against the Jaguars. We actually both agree.
Yeah, they're going to lose that game.
Yeah, no, I do. I think they're going to lose. I just think it's going to be a very hard-fought battle. And honestly, if you go back and you look at the playoff game, the game was given Patrick Mahomes was hurt. That game was very close and very fun to watch. And I hope we get the same treat that we saw in that playoff game that we did against the Jags. And I don't know what it is, but just something in my gut is telling me Jags are going to win this game.
Yeah, no, I think that, ultimately, the Chiefs, right? And don't get me wrong, they're still the Chiefs.
Yes. Yeah.
I will tip my hat.
You better take back that comment you made last year.
I will tip my hat. But what I will say is they slowly degraded or downgraded.
Pieces. Yeah.
Jaguars are on the upper end of this. Yeah. Calvin Ridley is going to be a problem.
He's going to be so great when he puts up 20 points a week on my fantasy.
Christian Kirk is a surefire, awesome wide receiver too. Yes. Overpaid, but doesn't matter.
But he produced well even as number 1 last year.
You have him. That's what matters.
Yeah.
What sucks is down the road when they have to pay Trevor Lawrence. That's going to be maybe an issue, but
they'll figure out a way.
Anyways,
Evan Ingram took that step that everyone wanted him to with the Giants. This year with the Jags last year, who he signed. I think he had like 700 yards, like 8 or 9 touchdowns, like solidly produced for a good tight end.
Yeah. Like I said, I have them losing for those reasons, though. I think that it's going to be it's going to be pretty interesting. Wow. Anyways,
this is going to be tough for you, but
they're playing the Bears and they're going to kill them.
Yeah.
And here's why.
Yes.
They're playing the Jaguars, and it's like we lost and we shouldn't have lost. And now we get to go and play against Chicago. We're going to curb stomp Chicago.
Yes.
And Travis Kelce is going to have himself a game. That's my actually, you know what?
Their linebacker core is going to be fun. But TJ has always struggled covering.
Travis? Is that who you're talking about?
Travis in general, but TJ Edwards has always struggled to cover. So if TJ's matching up with Travis,
I'm
I mean, we saw
excited for it.
Yes.
So we'll see.
Yes.
The Bears, they ended up signing a lot of people for coverage reasons and everything, which is obviously something that they were lackluster
Chris
at.
Jones will have a field day. Chris Jones will have 2 sacks against Justin Fields.
Probably.
Chris Jones alone will have 2 sacks.
Just thank God it's not a primetime game. Out of all the games, please, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Chiefs are going to curb stomp my Bears here. And I think that we're in agreement there. Next week, in New York against the Jets, they're losing this game.
Chiefs are winning. I'm telling you, I don't know what it has been, and it's the New York market. That's what it is. The Jets are getting overrated. The Chiefs have the best head coach in the league. The Chiefs have the best quarterback in the league, point blank period. And just off of that, Patrick Mahomes is going to run circles around the high old man that is Aaron Rodgers, and it will not be a game.
I think Sauce Gardner has something else to tell you. And ultimately, I'm excited for the matchup. I don't want to root for the Jets at all.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a chance that the Chiefs somehow lose this game, and people are going to be like questioning it at this point, because that would be they're 2-2 now in my record predictions. So it's like, what's going on with the Super Bowl champs?
Mm-hmm.
What's happening there, right?
I continue their onslaught of what is the NFC North, and I do have them winning against the Vikings.
I'm telling you, they're winning the next 3 games. They're winning the Vikings, Broncos, and Chargers.
I disagree, but I do have them winning against Vikings, Broncos.
Okay, so yeah, we'll put that down. And then you have them losing against the Chargers at home.
The home split thing, I told you guys on last week's episode. Again, if you guys didn't watch that, go back, listen to that. I kind of spent probably about 15 minutes talking about like the Chargers and how good I think the Chargers are going to be this year. And I think if anyone's going to give them a run for their money outside of the Bills and Bengals, which we'll get to because they play both those teams later in the season, if anyone's going to give that team a run for their money, it's going to be the Chargers.
Yeah.
So I do have them splitting, like I've done in the last few episodes, the home and away with the Chargers, because this is played in LA. LA Chargers don't really have a lot of fans. This is still played in LA.
They should, though. Those are some clean uniforms.
You're telling me they're best uniforms in all football.
I would love to own one, but I can't take that on. Well, right behind the Bears. I'm just kidding. The Browns.
Right
I'm
behind
just kidding.
Tulane. Right by Tulane.
Anyways, so this awesome little 3-game streak that they went on is going to be halted by another 3-game losing streak. They're going to lose to the Broncos in Denver. They're going to lose to the Dolphins at home, and they're going to lose to the Eagles in a Super Bowl rematch.
I have them actually winning against Broncos and winning against the Dolphins, but I do have them losing to the Eagles. I just think the Eagles obviously gave them a very, very tough matchup last year. And I just think they're going to have a little bit of –
That better be prime time.
It is.
Yeah, I was going to say that better be.
And it's going to be fun because they're both going to be coming off their bye weeks. They're both going to be well rested.
I will bet on that game. I'll probably bet on a lot of games, honestly. But I will probably bet on that game.
I wonder if I'm going to –
If you're going to be able to.
I'm going to be able to. It's November 20th.
Let's go. Anyways, yeah, gambling. Do it responsibly.
Yes.
Anyways.
But no, the Eagles have had gave them a very good run for their money in the Super Bowl, but now they're going to have blood in their mouth, and they're going to want to do it. And they're going to want to prove that the reason they lost the Super Bowl was because of that grass. And everyone keeps on saying they all both played on the same grass. But the way we played our defense and the way they played their defense was significantly different. When a defense has the 3rd most sacks in the history of the NFL, they're going to be a little bit more impacted by the grass than the other defense that had just an average season, okay? 3rd best defense in the history of football when it comes to sack numbers. Yeah, the grass is going to affect them a bit more than what it did the Chiefs defense. That was dumb. Anyways.
Man just needed to breathe for a second, guys. Just give him a second.
I have them going with a huge, like win streak. I have them winning the next 5.
I have them winning the next 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're winning against Raiders, Packers, Bills, Patriots, Raiders, and Bengals, and then they'll lose against the Chargers as a we won the division. We're sitting our players, and we're going to be back for the playoffs.
Oh, you're gonna have them. I'm interested to see what you have them finish because I feel like
11-6 on the season.
11-6. You think wins in the season, the division?
I looked at my previous record predictions, and so last week, not to spoil it for anybody that hasn't listened to that, but I had the Broncos at 9-8, and I had the Chargers at 9-8.
Wow, yeah, you're much lower in Chargers than I am.
But I had the Chargers in second place due to a tiebreaker with the Broncos making the wild card.
Wow.
But with the Chiefs, 11-6, and God knows the Raiders aren't winning more than 11 games. So
yeah.
Chiefs are going to be winning this division.
Wow. I have the Chiefs winning the division. I'm shocked that you're lower. You're much lower on Chargers than I am. I do have them winning the next 5. Like you said, the Raiders, Packers, the Bills, which I'll get to in a second, Patriots, and Raiders.
Okay.
Like I said, I originally had the Chiefs going 12-5. The reason I switched it up the last minute is because that due to tiebreakers and whatnot, they would have had the Chargers winning the division, which I don't see to be true. I think the Chiefs are going to win. So I did have to find a game somewhere on the schedule to change to a W to give the Chiefs 13-4. That just happened to be the Bills. That game's always a battle. That game always goes back and forth. But just throughout the history of these two teams playing each other with their quarterbacks, the Chiefs have come out victorious more than they haven't. So that's why I did have them winning. But like I said, this could be another game of the year. But I did have the Bengals losing or stopping that win streak. Like I said, in the history of these two franchises, Burrow has gotten the better of him. And I'm going to be honest, Burrow should have won that playoff game.
Yeah.
Against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
If it was not due to bad reffing.
Oh my God!
And that would have put Burrow.
Do you remember?
And that would have put Burrow at 4-0 against the Chiefs. Burrow has Patrick Mahomes' number, whether you agree or not, because one has the championship, one doesn't. But that reffing that game was god awful. It should be 4-0.
Let's put on our tinfoil
remember.
hats here. The NFL put out a show, Quarterback, directed by a quarterback, Peyton Manning, and they brought up the storyline of Burrowhead. The NFL took note of Burrowhead and realized this is the face of the NFL right now. He cannot be controlled by anybody, at least at the so let's just say hypothetically, they just so happen to just say, hey, let's let Burrow lose this one and he'll be back next year. But oh my God, I mean, it makes so much sense. I remember how livid I was.
I remember.
I was like, I think I blew up the group chat.
Yes.
And I was like, plenty of expletives, but I was just like, this is rigged. This is stupid. And I hate that because the NFL is supposed to be about unpredictability.
Yes. Anything
can happen any given Sunday, right?
Yes.
So why are we just giving it to people? Like, I understand Patrick Mahomes, great player. Don't get me wrong. Why are we doing people favors here? Like,
Yes.
Tom Brady had plenty of them. Why are we doing it again? Why are we repeating history? It's so stupid, and I was so upset about it. But at the end of the day, Burrow has his number, and this is going to be
I hope not.
Peyton. This is what we thought Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes was going to be.
Yes.
This is Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes on steroids.
Yes.
This is
going to
Josh Allen is the new Ben Roethlisberger. Prime Ben Roethlisberger. That's what it is. And you have Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger eventually going head to head, blah, blah. And then Tom Brady wins it because nobody's surprised because Ben Roethlisberger couldn't finish except for once. And then it's like, now we have Joe Burrow, and that is the Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And so, well, I don't know. It's kind of weird, but like you get it. This is this era's rivalry.
Yes.
So it's awesome.
It's going to be a great game. And then rounding out, I do have them winning the last game of the season. Like I said, the split with the Chargers. But then to the bottom feeders of this division. Raiders.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at this at the moment, and I am not excited for this at all.
There's only one game I hate to bring it to you, but that I'm still up in the air on, and that's the Bears and Raiders, and I still have not made a decision to this time. And I will make a split decision at the very end, and you probably won't like it because I'm leaning away you're not going to like. I'll get my mind changed. I will let you pitch the game to me when we get there.
Okay. I have them losing the first two and then beating the Steelers.
As do I.
I have them losing against the Chargers.
Yep.
Losing against the Packers.
I have them beating the Packers.
Nice. Yeah.
There you go.
Packers downfall. I love it.
I did it for you.
Let's do it.
Like I said before when talking about the Packers, I like Jordan Love. One of on my list of prospects I liked coming out of the year or coming out of his draft year. But until I see something from him, I cannot have them winning games. I need to see something.
I have them winning against the Patriots.
I have them losing against the Patriots.
Wow.
Well, it's a whole Bill Belichick, Jimmy Garoppolo thing. And Bill Belichick wanting the best of Jimmy Garoppolo because Jimmy Garoppolo was a former Patriot and whatnot. I originally actually had them winning that, but then when I started thinking about the whole Jimmy Garoppolo thing and Bill Belichick, I'm like, no, there's no way Bill Belichick's going to lose to his former quarterback.
So this next week is the Raiders at Bears.
Pitch it to me.
So let's talk, right?
Whoa, what are you doing here, bud?
I'm looking up the date of the game.
I can tell you right now what it is.
October 22nd. Perfect. So that is when the cold starts settling in Chicago. The windy starts taking place in Windy City, and bear weather is taking place. Okay. No, don't get me wrong. This isn't my primary selling point, but what I'm saying is it definitely adds to it.
It does.
Vegas.
At that time, I don't know how much bear weather. As someone who has sat in a stadium full of bear weather, I don't know how much October is bear weather.
Bear weather is fun, dude. That's like the 54 brisk cold.
Yeah, that's not
54, maybe high 40s. It's Midwest weather, dude. This sucks.
Yeah, I would.
But nonetheless, who can you name me the Raiders offense right now?
Devontae Adams.
Jacobs. Okay.
Fosh Moreau.
Is Josh Jacobs playing at the
Fosh Moreau's not there anymore.
Is Josh Jacobs playing right now?
Yes, he is.
He's playing in your mind?
Yes, he's playing.
That's fine.
He's not going to sit out a season.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Improved offensive line out of Alex Leatherwood is at their tackle. Which is ironic because the only team that picked up Alex Leatherwood.
It's fine. He hasn't played a snap for us anyway.
The Bears.
So look at this though, right? So you have Devontae Adams.
Michael Mayer.
Which Devontae Adams has given a nod to Jalen Johnson as being one of the most underrated players in the league for coverage. Not saying that Devontae won't absolutely torch him, but what I will say is in recent history, Jalen Johnson's matchup against Devontae Adams has worked relatively well. And you also have Eddie Jackson and Jaquan Brisker in that backfield.
Hunter Renfrow too.
Hunter Renfrow, a big whoop, dude.
He's a good wide receiver too.
That's fine.
Michael Mayer, but it's their defense. It's good, man.
The Raiders' defense.
Yeah, they Hobbs and Max Crosby. They just freaking drafted Tyree Wilson.
Look, here's the thing. I'm done selling you on this because I'm not going to convince you. You could have my Bears losing this game.
I actually have no clue the way I'm going.
So, just look at this side by side, man. That's all I'm asking. Look at depth chart. Look at depth chart. I wonder if they reset it. So,
Jacoby Myers.
If it wasn't
And Austin Hooper.
If it wasn't for as good as Devontae Adams is, I would take the Bears wide receiver core over that all day.
Stud Bear.
Bilal Nichols. Dude sucks. Okay. But everything from their right defensive end on, not right defensive end on, I'm saying the will linebacker on.
Do you know who Divine Diablo is? Maybe it's a draft thing.
It's a draft thing. But my thing is,
Nate Hobbs is very good. You need to put respect to Nate Hobbs' name.
Okay, maybe I will.
And
but
Javon Moore, it's a draft thing, but he's also.
I'm just saying. I like our secondary way more than that. I like our linebackers way more than that. Defensive line, I like the Raiders because of
Yes.
Max Crosby and Chandler Jones. That's disgusting. You have Bilal Nichols, who's actually kind of serviceable. But like, defensive line, okay. But the Bears improved their O-line significantly this offseason.
That's really gonna make you mad.
And then our wide receiver core, I think Justin Fields. How was their run defense? How was their run defense last year? I'm looking because that might seal it right there. Just look up run defense ranking or something. What's DVO? Am I that stupid? DVOA.
They're 26.
26th in the league against what was the number one ranked run offense in the league last year. Okay. Now keep in mind we had David Montgomery, but we lost him, and it's like we already talked about David Montgomery this week.
Yes, we did.
And he's not really that efficient. So
yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, who are you picking here? It's obvious who I'm picking.
You are really not gonna like this, but
you're really picking Jimmy Garoppolo?
Nope.
What?
He's gonna get a tie. This is gonna be a tie. There's always 1 or 2 games this season. This is worse. This is worse than me picking the Raiders.
Dude, the Bears haven't tied anybody since the 70s, dude. I looked that up like this week, so it's ironic that you said that because I was like, when was the last time the Bears had a tie?
Yeah,
the 70s, dude.
Wow. Well, it's gonna end in a tie here. But for those who are wondering what DVO is it's a defensive. What is it? DB.
I hate that,
defensive
dude.
Value
I hate that so much.
Defensive value over average. Defensive adjusted value over average is what it is. And it's just like how well they've played compared to the average of like everyone else. So they rank 26. It's like the defensive metric. It's the overall defensive metric that people use. But yeah, their run DVOA was
You're telling me
26.
You're telling me Josh McDaniels is going to find a way to tie against this defense? You know what?
This is good. This is worse. You would have preferred that I picked the Raiders this way, wouldn't you have?
No.
Okay.
This is a no-brainer to me.
I would disagree.
It's not that close. It's not. Dude, if Josh Jacobs isn't playing, the Bears are taking this.
Yes.
But as of right now, that's up in the air, so I understand. But it's just, dude.
It's Devontae Adams, dude.
It's Jimmy Garoppolo, dude. It's Jimmy G.
Jimmy G's a winner.
Shut your mouth. Okay.
Jimmy G's a winner.
Next week, they're playing the Lions.
Jimmy G has a Super Bowl ring, dude.
What? No, he
doesn't.
doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He does with the Patriots as a backup.
Yeah, but he's made it to the Super Bowl, dude.
Oh, my God. Big whoop. Okay, don't care. Now you give Jimmy Garoppolo props when he plays the Bears. I hate you so much. Lions. They're playing the Lions in Detroit. They're losing that game. In fact, you know what?
He has over double his wins than he does losses in his career, by the way. He's 53-21.
They're losing the next 8 games to me. They're
that
losing.
Being said,
they're losing the next 8.
Yeah, they are losing the next. Oh, what?
What?
Why did I have this?
What's that? Beating the Chargers?
Yeah. I don't know why I haven't
Goofball.
beaten the Chargers.
This guy thinks that the Bears are going to tie against them. Same team that's going to beat the Chargers. What? Come on.
They're definitely losing to the Chargers.
Yeah.
I don't know how I messed it up.
The next
That
game
being
they're
said, I actually have them losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. I have them losing out the rest of their schedule besides their last game against the Broncos.
Yeah, the only game that they're winning for me is going to be the Colts. That's going to be a slip-up game.
Well, you know how I feel about the Colts. But yeah, for those who are wondering, that's the Lions, Giants, Jets, Dolphins, Chiefs, Vikings, Chargers, Chiefs, Colts, and Broncos. Of those games, I have them losing out, and I do have them just winning against the Broncos. It's the division, but I have them finishing full. I have them finishing 3-13-1.
You're
actually, and for those wondering, I had the Chiefs 13-4. So.
Yeah, You said 3, 13, and 1, bozo. I had him at 3 and 14, so we're just neck and neck, just about. What makes me mad? Oh, you suck. Okay, anyways. No, it's fine. Anyway, all right, we're gonna move on to Weddle. I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna postpone Madden until a later date.
And we did spend a lot of time talking.
We did
about news and the Bears.
Yes.
Again,
so
soccer. We talked about the Bears for 20 minutes on this podcast.
yeah. So
we really need to like set a podcast aside where we don't do anything else but
argue about the Bears.
But the Bears, like cut all the segments out and just maybe not Weddle, but cut every other segment out.
Dude,
just talk about
the thing is, dude, you're arguing with quite possibly the most passionate Bears fan you know.
What's funny is I feel like all the Bears fans that I know say that exact statement.
There's no way.
Do you know? Playing with you.
No, it's fine. Do you know literally anybody else that is passionate about the Bears tonight?
Braggs and
Braggs, okay.
And gosh, what's his name?
That's fair, but Braggs had a head start.
He's gonna make me so. I feel so sorry if he's listening to it.
You talking?
The Purdue fan.
Yeah, that's Braggs.
Or yeah, that is Braggs. Who's the TikTok guy?
Burns
and Braggs.
You don't know them. Okay, whatever. We're moving to
Okay, I'm only messing with him though. Of course, you guys have listened to podcasts. You guys know Ryan is a diehard.
Give me my props.
A diehard Cubs fan. Or gosh dang, that too.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
That as well.
Let's.
It's time for America's favorite game, Weddle.
All right, so Weddle. I won last week. That was cool. Yesterday, I think, was relatively easy. Did you do it yesterday?
I did do it yesterday.
It was Aiden Hutchinson for the easy or the hard, I think.
That was Sunday.
Yeah. Props to you for remembering that. There we go.
Because we talked about it. We're playing games.
I don't have to actually. I'm gonna put that down that way. If anybody's watching, they can follow along. All right, Weddle. I'll go. You know what? I'll choose second this time.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
AJ Brown.
Not that it matters. All right, wide receiver.
Wide receiver in the AFC. That's kind of cool. Ow. That's what I was thinking.
They didn't update it. Stupid. And his jersey number. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking now.
Weddle, you're slacking, okay?
Slackers.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs.
Fair enough. I don't think he's that old.
No. I don't think he is. Yeah, he is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He definitely is. But
AFC, I think Adams.
No, he's too old.
No, yeah.
That leaves North
and South.
No one in the Packers. No one in the Bears.
AFC, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
Browns. How old's Cooper?
The height doesn't work for Amari Cooper, though.
Okay.
I don't think so. He's fine. Amari Cooper, but age works.
AFC North. Okay. OBJ? Is OBJ up there?
Is
he older than Diggs?
But yeah, he's up there in age.
Wow, do we suck at this? Okay. We have 2 more guesses. Wow, jersey number, dude. Why am I blanking?
That leaves Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Should be Dante, which that wouldn't work.
Bengals. Oh, Tyler Boyd? No.
Where's that though? What? It's not Dante, is it?
What are you thinking?
Dante's not that tall.
Dante who?
Johnson.
Oh, Deontay Johnson, yeah.
Deontay Johnson.
He's not that old, is he?
No, he's not that
No,
old.
he just got extended. But it's okay.
Okay, so it's either him or what? Gosh, the Bengals.
I'm
it's
thinking.
Not Jamar, it's not T. I guess through Tyler Boyd. I didn't think he was 6'2". He's definitely that age.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd.
6'2", wow.
Okay.
That was the only one that made sense. I didn't realize he was 6'2".
I'll go first here.
Ooh, I like 1 second. Yo.
Uh-huh.
Didn't do anything for me besides the defense and the end. It was good.
At least it's not as long as it's not special teams.
Yes. Brandon Graham.
Whoa, almost did Thomas Graham. That would have been bad.
This
All
is scrub.
right.
All right. So, East or West?
Hmm.
West is the Niners division.
It would be South or West.
Or South or West. South is the Saints division. And
Ooh, okay.
oh, Marshawn Lattimore.
Ooh, okay.
What? It's supposed to be linebacker. Ooh, I actually just listened to the Bootleg podcast. They were covering this division in this past episode. Yeah.
What did you say?
Talking to myself.
Let's see.
I know who it is. That's exactly what. Are you thinking Levante?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, dude, I was thinking the age.
I know. Oh, I don't. It's a linebacker for the Panthers.
Dude, who cares about the Panthers? A scrub of a team, dude. First overall pick, Bears, part 2, baby. Let's go.
Oh, I know who it is.
Who wants to win the Caleb Williams sweepstakes? Because the Bears will be winning that. That's who. They're not going to use it because they'll have Justin Fields.
Well, if they're picking number 1 overall, you guys should take Caleb Williams.
No, absolutely not.
That's a bad take.
We have Justin Fields.
That's a bad take.
We would reinvest for the future
That is a bad
and
take.
trade back in the top 3 and pick up Marvin Harrison.
Oh, I know who it is, but I'm blanking on his name. Type in David, maybe. He played with Kuechly.
I liked Kuechly so much too.
Oh, I'm gonna make myself so mad because I know who it is. You know who it is too. You'll see the name and I'll be like, "That's who it is." Oh, I'm punching myself right now. Oh, okay. Type in Brian Burns. I mean, that's not who it is, but.
Okay. Pressure's on me now, huh?
I know exactly who it is.
Linebacker. You Googling it? Yeah. Okay.
You know who it is. I.
This isn't going to count for a point, but test my knowledge on it. So, where was he drafted? He was drafted to the Panthers. Okay. What year? Oh no, he's old. So
he has. This will give it away. I think this is who it is, and if it's the other one, there's no way you get him. The only reason I know who the other one is because he played for the Eagles.
Okay.
But I didn't realize he played for the Panthers, so I would never got it. This guy has the first name of one of the most dominant centers of all time, and the last name of one of the most dominant shooters of our era.
Shooters.
Think of the most dominant centers of all time.
Oh my God. You're talking
No. Dominant centers of all time. Who's the most dominant center of all time? Basketball.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Come on.
I mean, there's lots of Shaq. You talking Shaq Leonard? No, not Shaq.
Leonard.
Wait. Thompson. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. Well,
I'm so mad at myself.
Nobody wins then.
I knew exactly who it was. I'm so mad at myself for that.
So We tied there. Now you guys might be asking, like, hey, like, why are we postponing Madden? We still have about 15 minutes. Why wouldn't you do that? Now, not to get all mushy or anything like that, but when my buddy comes to town, I don't really get to see him all that much. And so I'd like to kind of spend some much needed bro time with him. So it's few and far between. I'd like to kind of take advantage of that. So
They might as well just wait till all the ratings are out anyways.
yeah, they're going to be back, next week when we get to talk about quarterbacks, when we get to talk about running backs, we get to talk about, obviously the wide receivers are already out, which Justin Jefferson is at 99.
As you should.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Also, the fact that Terry McLaurin is rated in front of A.J. Brown.
What do you think about DJ Moore as an 86? Too high?
No.
Too low?
I would probably put him at.
I would say like 87, 88, but his company is fine. Like
He's there.
Brandon
with
Ayuk
Devontae
and
Smith.
what?
He's there with Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith isn't that?
Yes, he is.
He's a seriously?
Devontae's an 86.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. He might
Holy
be
crap!
He actually might be an 87. He's either 85, 86, or 87.
No way. No, I thought that the only what the heck?
No way, buddy.
Nah.
Yeah.
Let's see. He's an 87. He's over.
I told you.
He's over more.
I told you he's either an 86 or 87. That's what I just
Dude,
said.
what? We'll vent about more than this.
We'll talk about
next week. Also, very excited.
As scheduled, though, Wednesday, our normal time, 9:30 Central or Eastern, whatever. 9:30 is normal.
Yeah, Central. Yeah.
I live in Eastern, so that's why. 9:30 Central Wednesday. We got stuff going on tomorrow. That's why we had to push it forward.
TJ Edwards is an 82. You know how low that is, dude?
That's not. We'll talk about it. It's really, really bad. Tune into the next episode to hear us just react with how bad these Madden ratings are. I have a theory that they're always bad just so people talk about them, and then they fix them when they get later into the season when it's actually time.
Fair enough.
That's besides the point. I'll let you close this out.
Thank you so much for listening to the Pigskin Project, episode number 75. We'll see you guys next week for episode 76. We want to thank Spotify for podcasters, Overtime Sports Network, Regional Radio Sports Network, and Uppercuts Grooming for helping us grow our podcast. Ben, thanks for coming in person. It's a lot of fun always. And until next week when we cover the start of the NFC West, very excited about that.
Ooh.
Not entirely sure where we're going to start there. Probably the Cardinals at some point.
Wait until
our Cardinals agenda is horrible.
But yeah.
Seahawks. Can't wait.
Seahawks, Cardinals.
We'll see you guys next week.